Hi everyone, welcome to my new podcast. I believe that our nature is limitless. We are capable of extraordinary accomplishments. I'm going to share with you some unbelievable stories of people who were able to overcome or achieve incredible things in life. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss next videos. Hi everyone, I have someone special here. Her story is unbelievable and I feel that story needs to be shared with many people because it can impact people's lives. Arwen, I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
Why don't you share your story yourself?
Yes, I'm very honored to share my story with you. It happened a year ago in July 2022 when I was admitted to a hospital out of the blue. I just thought I had a little flu, but I had the risk of immediate flatlining. And there had been a couple of doctors around me confronting me very shortly after a couple of tests that might have had a very rare form of blood cancer, but there is no cure and a very limited time span to live. And normally this kind of cancer comes with other types of tumors who can be accompanied, and shortly after they found little tumors in my breast. That was the next shock, and shortly after, I don't know if it was 2 weeks or 3 weeks because time stood still for me, they also found a tumor in my uterus, which they thought it is very fast growing, and only normally cancer is growing as fast as that was seemingly. So I was confronted in, I would say, 3 to 5 weeks from several doctors with 3 cancer diagnoses, and I would say the worst was the first, because it changes your time immediately. You find yourself in a hospital. My 19-year-old son was sitting next to me crying, and you think, that can't be my truth. It can't be what is happening here. So yeah, it was a very, very challenging situation, yes.
What did you feel when you got your first diagnosis?
As I said, I was so under shock. I couldn't believe. My first emotion was, that's not true. I don't believe that. But with time, especially in that hospital, when they transferred me to my bed, there was a lady next to me, and she had her final days to live, and there was just a little veil between me and her, so I could listen and overhear everything what was spoken. And I remember one visit from the doctors that had been also mine, telling her, I have to tell your family and your son to say goodbye, because you will not leave that hospital again. And I was in my bed and thinking of myself, and remembering that with that diagnosis of blood cancer, it might be just 5 years. And I was starting to negotiate with God. In these moments, I just felt, what if I have only 5 years? What if it is 3 years? What will my son do? Will I see him getting grandkids? Probably not. So, even talking today, it is a very, very touching experience. So, it was quite a shock.
I personally know that one belief or one idea can change the direction of your life. And sometimes it's really hard to find that belief. And how did you find it?
I mean, in these moments, something very strange happened to me in all these moments when I froze. And Rita, sometimes I had the feeling, and even after the hospital, when I got one diagnosis after the other, I had the feeling the time stood still, the time froze. But at the same time, I always felt an invisible hand in my hand. And I was thinking, this is God. And that helped me. That helped me to find that feeling I'm not alone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But what does it mean to be strong for you?
Number one, I wanted to be strong for my son as a mother. But it also reminded me, I was thinking, what does that mean to me? Why is that happening to me? Why is my life changing from one moment to another? And I was thinking, there must be a message for you. Deeply believed that God or source or whatever you want to believe in is punishing me. I didn't want to believe that. I felt there must be positive message, a shift in consciousness for me. And what if I can change that? What if I can really take it and make it my own? And that helped me.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is so inspiring.
Yeah, sorry. I still cry when I talk about it.
Thank you so much for sharing your story. Were you always that strong, or did you have to find your strength?
I did have to find it. As I said to you, it was an up and down waves coming to me. I just knew, what, if it is really a message, it must be a message from within. And why don't you start meditating? Why don't you find that voice inside yourself? And why don't you reconnect with your body again? I had the feeling, especially in the hospital, that body was completely disconnected from me, All these diagnoses was like from somebody else, like watching a film. And I was thinking, what if I can change my nutrition? When I change my way of movement, if I go running, if I go and change the way I think and meditate, what will happen? It can't be wrong. So this is how I found that I would say little ray of light in a lot of dark nights.
What tools and practices had the most impact on your healing?
I would say that shift in thinking and feeling. I for myself have to take responsibility. I just knew Amrita because these doctors from oncological clinics had been calling me with urgent request to cut me off, and whatever following. Then I was asking, how long do I have to stay in the hospital? They said 2 weeks, maybe a half year, maybe we don't know what's coming next. So I was, when I do this, I had that feeling, when I follow this belief, I will not survive. But if I follow my own voice, if I follow my own belief, I might be able to change it. So I for myself started running and meditating twice a day, and it helped me. It absolutely helped me.
So how soon you started to feel better?
I mean, it happened step per step. I just knew. I mean, I remember when I called that office from the oncologist from the clinic, and I told them, if you call me one more time, I sue you for harassment. And I mean, it was absolutely, I mean, my doctors told me that's illogical. You know, you have to have surgery. And I was saying, no, that's not my path. It is something in me, and it tells me something, and I will go back to my life, and I will change my purpose. And
so you knew?
I knew it. It was a voice in me. I mean, there had been moments, my doctor, my family doctor, when I left all these hospital doctors, I also denied to go back to any of these hospital doctors again. I denied it. I said, never again. I looked for a doctor for myself. And I don't know if she really knew what I was talking about, but at least she gave me the feeling she is listening to me. And when she take the first tests after I changed my diet, plant-based diet, and running and meditating, my blood test wasn't immediately fine. It wasn't.
Okay.
And of course you think, am I doing the right thing? Is that the right thing? Even if the results are still not at that point I wanted them to be. And I was thinking, you have to continue. You have to take responsibility, and you have to continue.
I'm gonna cry with you today, probably. So did you still have doubts that you could heal, and or how did you fight it?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's
yes, doubt is a thing which is a shadow, which is sometimes coming. I started traditional Chinese medicine, so acupuncture. And after 3 months, I decided to ask for a new ultrasound, because I declined any other form of. I said, I want to heal. I go my way, and whatever you say to me, I will not listen. But after 3 months, I said to her, can I please have an ultrasound? And she said, okay. And it took so long till I got it, you know, and these days of waiting was like switching back a time machine to the times when I got all these diagnoses, and the uncertainty. What if? What if it grew? What if that one report from a doctor he wrote, this woman will die in 6 months? What if it's true? So I had to really focus, and what helped me, I started also a Shaolin Kung Fu training. And one of the Shaolin mantras is, you have to start and you have to finish. So for me it was very clear, regardless what it is, you finish the journey.
Incredible.
I mean, and what happened, Amrita, I would say after 10 months, out of the blue, literally out of the blue, I just continued to do what I do. Every day. There was not one day I stopped. Every day. My results became normal. My doctor called me, and she said, I don't know what you're doing, but please continue. Till today, I don't know.
What?
Yes. And my oxygen level was very, very low when I was in the hospital. Very low, dangerous low. And just a couple of days ago I got my annual results. And my oxygen level had been tested, and I'm not kidding you. I'm not at 96%, I'm not at 98%, I am at 100%.
Yay!
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I have none of my symptoms anymore. I have a fibroid in my belly, which is no longer a necessity to be operated. It's an optional decision of mine, which I decided I will not go. I'm doing fine. I never felt better in my whole life.
This is so inspiring. Right now, there are some people who are receiving the same diagnosis that you did. What would you say to them in their hour of need?
Yeah, I mean, I said that to you before. It is a very, very intimate decision between you and your soul, and maybe your creator, if you believe so. And some people might decide they need surgery. Other people might decide, as I did, no. I would say to everyone, give yourself time. Respect your inner voice. Come back to your body, mind, and soul. And take time. Love yourself. Take time to make a decision and to listen what is really going on. I believe no sickness happens without reason. Yeah, so listen. What could that be? What is that message?
You said that no sickness happens without a reason.
Yeah.
So could you please tell me a little bit more about it?
Yeah. I do believe that everything what we encounter in this world has something to do with us. And when we go out of balance, which any sickness, mentally, physically, spiritually, might occur, we are out of balance. And for me it was clear I have to find my path back. As I said, my oxygen levels had been so low. I was asking myself, and this was causing my blood levels to be so off-ranged, and if it was cancer or not. I mean, now it's not. I was asking myself, where is the space in my life where I don't give space to myself? Where is the place where I don't do the things I am called to do?
What tools or instruments would you share with others who are going through something similar to you?
Yeah, I mean, if you go outside of the normal medicine, think about the Western medicine is very established, but we have the Eastern medicine, we have the Ayurvedian Indian medicine, we have the Chinese, traditional Chinese medicine, which I am using. I am going once a week to my man with the golden hands, my acupuncturist, who is also a Reiki healer and works with Qi energy, life energy. I would go and meditate or do yoga. And as I said, I started a Shaolin Kung Fu training, which is connecting body, mind, and soul, and I switched my diet. And I run every day up to 6 miles. So every single day, consistency, I think, for yourself, responsibility for yourself is the main tool. I think you have to believe deep down in your heart, and you have to feel that power of yourself again. And as I said before, it's all yourself, it's your belief. And I read it so beautifully the other day. I don't remember if it was Lao Tse or Confucius, I don't know. But the quote was, if you believe something will happen, or if you believe something will not happen, you're always right. And I think that is it. You have to know. You have to know. I call it the knowing beyond. And you have to believe. You have to believe.
You would call it intuition?
Absolutely. Intuition, guidance. You have to feel guidance, not only from people around you, but also from unseen forces.
Yeah.
If you call it angels or your guides or Buddha or whatever it might be. And to trust that you can make it.
Yeah, so the trust and belief most important.
Yes, absolutely.
And to find the trust, I think it's number one.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then you have to be consistent. Even if it takes a longer time, you have to be consistent.
But for those who don't have the trust, don't have that connection as you do with your higher power, God, intuition, is there something that would you recommend to them to find that connection, or maybe to practice something?
Yeah, I think what is always beautiful is take a walk. Go out in nature, take your time, breathe in and out, and just feel yourself, and also accept that moments of frozenness, when you're frozen inside. I mean, accept it. Because beyond that, there's light.
Yeah, you mentioned accept. Probably I want to kind of reverse back a little bit, because probably it's hard when you get that diagnosis first time. It's hard to have that acceptance, right? It's hard
Yes.
to...
You won't believe. You don't believe. Yeah, you don't want to believe.
Yeah.
And I think we shouldn't.
Yes, I just wanted you to repeat it one more time, because that was very powerful statement. You don't have to believe.
No. And there's tools that can be out of our actual mind state of mind. And that can be so much more powerful and healing.
Yes. And did you, before you got diagnosed, did you have any spiritual practice before, or
Yes, I did. Not so much as I do now. I was believing I am spiritual balanced during my life, I was meditating. I did transcendental meditation too. But you know what? I was extremely, I wouldn't say lazy, but comfortable. I was moving in my comfort zone. I was settling. I was not living myself. And it sounds very crazy, but with all that craziness what happened today, I would say it was the most beautiful alarm clock I ever got.
Goodness. Yes. Could you tell me a little bit more about it?
I have a feeling I came back to myself, to my purpose, to my body, to my mind, to my spirit, and also to the questions of life and death. And sometimes only by accepting death we can also live. And I want to share, I became Buddhist. Which might be a little thing, for me was a big thing.
Is this sense of appreciation changed?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciation for life. Absolutely.
I've heard that some people, when they able to fight the death, they have that feeling of I don't want to waste life anymore. I want to live every minute.
That's exactly
Give
what
it
happens to me too. Today I feel if I want to do parachuting, damn yes, do it. And if somebody said, but it's risky, I say, what the hell is not risky in this life, you know? Do your life, live your life in the now. I mean, we have all the same destiny.
And how do you feel now about spending your time on something that you don't want or not feeling?
I don't do it. And for me it was also, maybe this is a message for everyone who's listening, I am exiting my profession, getting out of my old life and into a new life, a new purpose. And it is not always easy. We are confronted with fear when we do that. But here we go again. Fear is opposite of love. Maybe I would say I found a greater appreciation and meaning of love. And I want that to share with everyone, really, I do. And if only one person is hearing this and healing, I would be happy. Yeah.
That's, yeah, it warms my heart right now.
Yeah, I really want that, you know?
Yes. Yeah, I believe your story is amazing because you got diagnosis and you were able to cure yourself with a belief and practices.
Yeah. And I think it is important that you say it's both. It's the belief and the practice and persistence.
Because you gotta believe first.
Yes, absolutely, yes. 100%.
Because if you don't believe...
Yeah, no. It doesn't, I mean, that's the alpha of everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Did you always have that faith and belief?
I mean, I am generally somebody who is close to belief and consciousness, but as I said, I was pretty unbalanced. But it became more deeper during that self-activation, so to speak. Yeah.
Incredible. Is there a way they can reach out to you for help or guidance?
Yes, I would be so happy to share it with you afterwards, so you can put it. My name is Arwen Evergreen. I'm on Facebook. My company is Akita Arigato-san, but I'm quite sure you will mention that. And
yes.
As again, I'm open-hearted and I love to share. And you're beautiful, beautiful soul.
Thank you so much for your vulnerability and for bringing the story and openness and willingness to share that story with the world.
Yeah.
It's really brave.
Thank you so much.
It's really brave. And I know you mentioned before, but I would love to kind of get back to where you mentioned that after that story that you don't waste your time anymore.
No, I literally, I try, at least I try not to waste my time anymore and to have my goals. My next goal is a black belt in Kung Fu. Wow. And even if it takes 5 years, I don't care, I do it, and I will do it. And to just do the things I want to do. You know, we are all so good in thinking what we might be doing, but we have to execute. We have to execute the things.
Yeah. That's true.
In good and there's no bad, but I mean really in everything life is giving us. And I want to also say that I hear so many stories even from my Shaolin community of people who couldn't walk or had really, really physical disabilities, almost same dying diagnosis or really changing things, and they all made it because they believed and they started.
Wow.
And I'm here for all of them. I'm not here for myself.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You're such a beautiful soul. I believe that stories like yours needs to be shared far and wide. It's my service to my community to share stories like Arwen's. If you're watching this video right now, I'm asking you, please like and share this video with as many people as possible, because there are some of those who needs to hear this message right now to gain strength and to see the light in the end of the tunnel. If you find this video inspiring, please hit subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos.